Hi, everyone. My name is Siva Sankrithi, and I'm one of the founders of Flutrange, the flute choir for Rainbow City Performing Arts. And I play concert flute, alto flute, and bass flute for the group.
You don't mind if I record this, do you?
Oh, no, feel free, feel free. So I was playing with Rainbow City Band, and this was in 2017, so roughly 3 years ago. And Max Baldonado was playing there as well. And Max was playing clarinet, I was playing flute. But Max is a musician of many skills, and he plays saxophone and clarinet and flute and all sorts of things. And so he and I kind of jointly came up with the idea to start a flute choir within the umbrella of RCPA. Flutrange, the name came up kind of between like queer flute or strange flute coupled with like the range of flutes. So Max already had an alto flute. I already had a bass flute. So, there's really no place for those instruments in a concert band because there's no way we can hang with bassoons and brass and whatnot projection wise because we've got this woodwind. So we decided let's create this small ensemble, and then we messaged all of the flutes in RCPA and friends of ours. And interestingly, people who weren't necessarily in the flute section came out. So like Kelsey Rowe, for example, plays trombone for RCB, and I think bass trombone for the swing band. And Max and I were kind of the three original members, if you will, and it kind of grew from there. And we started meeting I think our first meeting was in May or June of 2017. And yeah, so it's been a really fun ride. We've played various shows with RCPA, a whole bunch of retirement communities, and I'm talking pre-COVID, obviously, but but yeah, and so we used to play at a lot of places like that and assisted living facilities, things of that nature. And yeah, it's been a really fun thing. Basically, members of the group will find music that we're interested in playing, and it could be scored for flute quartet, it could be scored for flute choir, pretty much anything, and we'll make do with what we have for any given show. And we've done holiday sets, we've done kind of more poppy sets, more classical sets, and basically from the outset we would always just meet at my house here in Lake Forest Park every other week, roughly every other Wednesday. We'd meet up, we'd rehearse, and then early 2020 pandemic hits, right? And so what we decided was we've got a good thing going. It's a really nice, I would say, even music aside, it's a lovely community of people to just get together and chat and engage. And so we wanted to keep it going. And so one of the guys in our group, Sudarshan, he is a programmer. Like that's his job. He was working for one of the companies around here, and he said, how about I kind of come up with an app that allows us to do this really fluidly. And so basically he and a buddy, so he's the coding back end guy, and then he has like a more front end guy who's doing like the marketing and stuff. And basically they said, like, they basically acknowledged that with latency issues and different connective speeds and people coming from all over the place, there's really no good way, at least right now, to have like that synchronous sound with musicality and everything over Zoom or Skype or Teams or whatever it may be. The basic premise of Upbeat, which is what he created, and I mean now it's exploded. I mean there's users in over 90 countries and I think it's over 50,000 users now. But yeah, it's been great for us. And I would say kind of March onward, I would say kind of March through the first 3 months or so were a lot of beta testing, a lot of just like, and I mean, on the one hand, we were kind of guinea pigs for the app, but on the other hand, we got to rehearse, right? And we got to hear each other. Like, it was fabulous, you know? It's not the same. Nobody's saying it's the same, but it's there. We can still meet every couple weeks, and we can still share music with each other and chat and hang out, albeit from our own homes.
If there was some people that were interested in joining Flutrange, like what would you like to say to them?
Yeah, so I would say, it's a really fun group of people who just enjoy making music together. It's extremely low pressure, whatever your level may be. There's a group of people who's ready to embrace you and kind of explore music with you and have some fun, and whether that's in person or remote. It's an opportunity for musicians at all levels to come together and play together and create a really meaningful result in a fun way. And I think, opportunities like that don't come up too often. There's a new Upbeat thing called Upbeat Perform, and we're all recording elements or our parts of Misty Mountains from The Hobbit, and then which I love. It's amazing. And then it's gonna basically all come together into a performance, and so it gives that kind of freedom and ownership to everybody in the group, which is really fun.